So today we're going to talk about anger and how to stop getting triggered by every little thing in your life and how to detach from it all. To just let those things that would trigger you in the past just roll off you and not react to them. So I'm someone with a lot of repressed anger. I have a really angry side to me that a lot of people don't see. And we'll talk about why that is, but I think this is a surprise for a lot of people to hear because I think from the outside I come across as quite a calm and collected person. Don't really get angry around other people. But I experience anger on a near daily basis. And I get triggered by the stupidest and smallest things. I think like everyone else, the online world is a massive source of like anger for me. I will just be like scrolling through Instagram or any other social media really. And I'll open the comments even though I know I'm not going to like what I'll find there. Like do you have this as well where you open the comments and you're expecting to see like a load of rage bait and things like illogical points and comments that people have made that are almost like a lot of people are just going out of their way to annoy you, like that's the point, but you'll still open it anyway and you'll still read them and you'll still get annoyed. You'll think like this person's being unfair, that doesn't make sense, are they being stupid on purpose? And you react. You get those bodily sensations, the tension, that like feeling behind your eyes when you're angry. You let this anger just completely overtake you. And for me, it just fucking ruins my day. Like I'll just keep playing it back over and over again. I get into like some insane online back and forth with people that would go on for weeks, literal weeks, because I just can't let it go because it feels like I'm taking an L if I do. There's other situations as well. It could be at work when my work is being critiqued and I feel like very sensitive, or someone says something quite valid, like a valid criticism. But inside me, I just start feeling angry. I feel misunderstood. I feel judged. Or even when I'm on my morning commute, someone in front of me is walking too slowly. Bro, I'll start cussing them out in my head. All of these situations, you think you don't need to react. Like surely reacting is a choice, but it feels like I can't help myself. Just get so fucking angry. This is a really interesting area I've been learning about. Just the purpose that anger solves and where it's really coming from when you're getting annoyed in these situations. So the first thing that's quite interesting, the first point I want to make is that right now anger isn't really a choice for you because it's something we've learned. It's something we've conditioned ourselves into, this type of response over many, many, many years. Think of anger as like, anger serves a purpose. Anger is there to protect you from danger. 1,000 years ago, it meant protecting you from saber-toothed tigers. That's what fight or flight mode is. It's either you fight with anger or you flee with anxiety. And in the modern day, anger is there to protect you from negative emotions. Shame, humiliation, rejection, disrespect. Anger is like a way of restoring your honor in those situations. It's a way of taking control over the situation. But something quite hard for people to understand is that in the present day, these situations that trigger us, the things that we get angry over, we're not actually reacting to what's in front of us. Like this anger that we feel right now, it's linked to something else. It's not linked to what's happening in front of us because, at least for me, 9 times out of 10, this thing isn't worth getting as angry about as I do. Like it might be worth like 5 out of 10 anger. I'm getting like 8 or 9 out of 10. And the thing that we're reacting to, particularly the thing that our body is reacting to, when we start feeling like tense, those angry feelings, we're reacting to the past. So for me, I have a lot of unresolved anger from the past. because I was in danger every single day of my life at one point, or at least that's how it felt to my body. Your nervous system, it stores memories, but not in the same way as your brain. It doesn't store these like clear thought kind of memories. It stores like emotional memories. It stores memories of when you felt like you were in danger. For me, in danger of humiliation, embarrassment. And that mainly came from just this period of my life in school where just dealing with bullies and getting mocked and just feeling like I had no safe place to turn to. Like the nervous system, which detects threats in your environment and processes threats, just constantly activated, constantly flaring up because I just really didn't feel safe in my environment. And anger, like I said, is a way of like reclaiming control. Your body makes you angry as a way of like resolving that danger, that threat. Like it expects you to fight back. And because for better or worse I didn't fight back, that anger has nowhere to go. And it gets stored by my nervous system. And now these situations where, it doesn't really warrant that level of anger, my nervous system brings that anger out of me. Because the way that I subconsciously and consciously perceive it is as if I need to compensate for all the times I did nothing. I let myself get disrespected or taken advantage of. I feel like I need to kind of make up for that and protect my body knows that I never want to feel like that again inside. I never want to feel that shame. So it lashes out at people, at the world, so that I don't have to feel that again. It's a really profound way of looking at just everyday life. It's like my body right now believes I'm in danger. The reality is I'm not, but the response in my nervous system is so strong that because it works faster than your brain, I can't evaluate whether I'm in danger, whether I am being disrespected. It just automatically goes to that place. So what does it mean to detach from that? Because a lot of people think detaching is just like, not reacting, ignoring disrespect. And that's not what it is. Detaching is, it's still having opinions on things. Like if someone says something to you and you're kind of like, why'd you say that? Like that's rude, that's disrespectful. You can still get irritated by things. But what it's not is having this like all out angry emotional response. Those feelings in your body that I'm talking about. It's not being in threat and survival mode, fight mode. It's not having your nervous system be triggered to the point where like all your emotions are just totally clouded. You're just seeing a red mist. Detaching is being able to like, someone disrespects you and you're still able to like view the situation objectively. Like I don't need to really get annoyed at this. Like this person is a fucking idiot, but like that's their choice and I have mine. It's not just being automatically overtaken by that rage. And that for me is like, that's really what I'm aspiring to do. So, I think I might have mentioned this already, but something else interesting is that it's in these situations we know better. We know better than to get annoyed. But we just can't help ourselves. Responding to online comments and people that are like rage baiting you. Like I said, sometimes I've gone back and forth for weeks and weeks at a time. And on the rare occasion, I tell myself like, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to be the bigger person. I end up feeling like I've lost. I feel like I've lost the argument. I feel like I've lost the battle. And I just replay it over and over again in my head. It's impossible to be the bigger person in these situations because you haven't done anything with your anger. you haven't regulated the nervous system. Your nervous system is still anticipating danger. It still thinks that you're like in danger of losing your life, or something really bad is going to happen to you. You know, your brain can't logic your way out of anger, because it still anticipates that, you know, if I let this anger go, if I take myself out of fight mode, then something is legitimately going to come along and kill me. You know, you can't apply logic to your survival mode brain. It just doesn't work. The only way to resolve this anger is to let go of those old patterns, the things that are causing you to overcompensate with anger in these situations. It's to retrain your brain that nothing bad will happen if you let go. So basically what we need to do, and I'll talk you through an example. I'll talk you through something that I do. So we need to think of this as like exposure therapy. Because imagine like the worst case scenario for this is like, you know, it's more of like a real life scenario, like someone's kind of being argumentative, your anger is really, really flaring up. In those situations where it's such like a constant feedback loop, you can't react to one thing before they've said the next. Those are like 10 out of 10 triggering situations. So they're not the best to learn from. We can't really retrain our brain in those situations. What we need to do is expose ourselves to those like triggering things in small doses, things that we can control. And for me, like online comments are very good for this. So I will intentionally expose myself to maybe like a mean comment on YouTube. Someone comments like hate on my video. And I look at every single one of those comments as like an opportunity to learn, because they do get to me. I think they get to most people. But I read these comments over and I try to separate what I'm feeling now from whatever my body is like reacting to. So I look at this comment now and I think, you know, this is unfair. They've misunderstood me. Like, why are they being so horrible to me? I'm angry. But I'll try and link it to what it was that I experienced in the past. Like, what past danger would have triggered this same feeling that I was in? And 9 times out of 10, it comes back to like those times in school where I felt like helpless. This person commenting reminds me of, because I can't do anything, it's a comment. It reminds me of a time when I like let myself get picked on in school and I did nothing about it. So almost just kind of separating those two things, the past from the present, and just saying out loud, just affirming, I'm not in any danger right now. Like, my body believes I'm under threat. It's trying to protect me, which is why it's producing this anger, the desire to respond and kind of take control of the situation. But I'm not in any legitimate danger right now. I'm just in my room reading comments. Nothing bad's going to happen to me. The second part of this process is regulating your nervous system to the point where you can actually like evaluate the thought, you know, because we're so often taken over by this like wave of anger. Even when we know better, we still respond. So to regulate your nervous system, you do 20 sets of deep breaths, 10 to 20 sets. So breathe in through the nose for 5 seconds, then breathe out through the mouth for 8 seconds. And that is scientifically proven to calm your body, to calm your mind, and allow you to like just process these thoughts with a lot more like, just a lot more objectively. Then the third and final part, the most important part, break the old pattern. In like about 2 years ago, I would have responded to that comment. I would have like just had a go back. I would have been like, shut the fuck up. Like, I would have commented something like that. Or I would have started to like reason with them, maybe. Reason with them, even though, you know, they're not there for like, they're doing it in bad faith. They're not trying to have like a constructive debate here. They're just commenting some hate. But this time I'm going to break the pattern I'm not going to react in the way that I would have done before. And I'm going to let my body know that nothing bad is going to happen to me. Like, if I let my guard down, I'm not going to die. I'm not under threat. And this wouldn't have worked before because our anger would have had nowhere to go. We wouldn't be able to let that anger out because, we're still predicting that something bad will happen to us. But because we've regulated already, and we've created the link between this negative comment and a more calm state of being, we're just going to sit there and observe the absence of anything happening. Sit there for a minute to 2 minutes and just observe nothing happening. It sounds kind of wacky, but it's this is the way that our body learns. It learns through the absence of threat. And it's those little small opportunities like that, intentionally exposing yourself to things that are going to annoy you, but then taking the moment to retrain your nervous system. This is what will prepare you for those much harder battles later on, when people are just getting in your face and arguing with you. And I've met people who they genuinely just don't get angry anymore. They just don't react to it. Their natural state of being is just calm and relaxed and non-reactive. I think that's really powerful. So yeah, just final parting words. This is probably quite a hard thing to do for most people, and it will take time to take effect. When you've learned to just get angry at everything for 10 years, it's hard to break those patterns, and it probably will be quite difficult at first, but be patient with yourself. Go through the steps that I told you, and you'll be okay in the end.